Hey everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of Vanderpump Rules Season 8, Episode 24, The Reunion Part 3. Okie doke, it is the final part of the reunion where we will wrap everything up. Obviously, this was all filmed before the big shakeup and the firing of Stassi, Kristen, Brett, and Max. I'm filming this on June 16th. I don't know if the firing is done. I don't know what the plans are for a season 9. And I don't know what my plans are for recapping if there is a season 9. So everything's a little bit up in the air, but for right now, let's talk about part 3. This episode starts with Stassi and Beau and how Stassi kept wanting Beau to propose and he wouldn't. And, he was trying to keep it a secret. Stassi said now that, I wish you would have just told me. And her advice to any guy or girl out there who's looking to propose to their significant other, just do it. Don't torture them. That's her advice. She's embarrassed by how it all went down, and Beau's like, oh my God, when you see it all in a montage like that, it's a lot. Knowing what I know now and how she thinks she might lose her house, she's angry about getting fired. Her little brother Nikolai was reaching out to Bravo and begging them to give his sister her job back. Her house of cards is falling down right now, like endorsement deals and everything's kind of falling apart. And she's pregnant. That's the latest news. I don't get this, like either begging for your job back or now being angry about being fired. Like, where do you get off thinking you have the right to feel indignant or angry? How do you not get it? I don't know. But I mean, yeah, it's just weird to be watching them and knowing that 4 of these people, at least at this point, are not coming back. Everyone's been a little quiet on social media. Every other cast member, I have not heard them speak out against any of the 4, nor have I heard them defend. I don't know, other than Ariana, who I guess has been posting information regarding Black Lives Matter, how you can help, what you can do, resources, that kind of thing. So, anyway, we move on to Max and take a sweet trip down memory lane with all of his conquests. Lisa Vanderpump telling him, just please don't sleep with my stuff. And he goes, okay, anyone that works for Lisa Vanderpump is off limits. Gotcha. And then we see how pretty much everyone he's been with has been an employee of Lisa Vanderpump. Dude. Well, yet again, Lisa Vanderpump defends Max. She said he's a great employee. He can step in as a bartender. He's good at what he does. The staff loves him. Maybe a little too much. She said, I wish he wouldn't bang everyone. Good God, we were in Vegas for one night. I will say this, at least Max isn't laughing like everybody else is laughing. He seems maybe just a little bit embarrassed about it, but whatever. And then she said that Danica is a floor manager. It's like an assistant manager. So I think she wants to make the distinction between Danica's ranking and Max's. Max is the GM at TomTom, and Danica is a floor manager at SUR. I don't know. You're backing the wrong horse, Lisa. I hope you know that. And I am so curious. I know Max has been fired from Vanderpump Rules and the Bravo show, but I am so curious what she's going to do about his job at TomTom or Brett's job at SUR. I don't know. So Raquel, of all people, defends Danica by saying she's by far the best manager that we have at SUR. She gets the job done. And Danica's like, thank you, Raquel. And then Lisa said, well, I also have a personal issue with her. And I hate to make it personal, but when she's speaking out in public, saying I'm having an affair with Brett, that pisses me off. Okay, so then we get a little flashback to one of the after shows where Danica said, I can't watch the episodes and see where they like weirdly dirty talk each other. I don't like you, Danica, but I totally get it. I don't like it either. I have talked about that numerous times on my recaps. It creeps me out. It's extremely flirty. And I don't care, Lisa. No, I don't really believe that you had an affair. And yes, you've been married to Ken for 100 years and you have 2 children and a wonderful marriage. I don't really think you cheated on Ken, but it's very icky what you and Brett do. I am with Danica on that one. Well, back from the commercial, we get to see Scheana's video with Brett. For some reason, Andy asks James, what did you think of it? And he said, well, I did see it and I thought it was kind of raunchy. It's just so funny to me, the slow-mo of him kind of, is he like spanking her ass? I don't know what it is, but it's like super slow motion of her butt jiggling. Oh, God. It cracks me up. So then Andy goes, Brett, you said that you felt uncomfortable and violated. Why? Brett goes, okay, well, I mean, I guess it was a little overly dramatic for me to say that I felt violated. You think? And Scheana is just, she's so pissed. You should be more outspoken and you should work on that. If you didn't want to do something, you should explain that instead of being a pussy and staying quiet. So now Scheana is trying to pretend that she made a joke about a blowjob because she goes, it was like how Lala makes a joke, blowjob for a Range Rover. I was like, okay, so how am I paying you, money or a blowjob? I was not serious, so I'm sorry that you felt like I was. And Lisa goes, yes, but Scheana, you did like Brett when you first met him and you thought that maybe there was a possibility of you being together. Brett told Scheana he was going to be up her ass apologizing so much during the reunion for things that he said during the season. And Sheena's like, I'm still waiting for that. And he goes, well, I was sorry for like if I led you on. And everyone's like, you idiot. That's not the point. Don't be sorry that you led her on. Be sorry that you told your friend one thing to her face and then you said other things behind her back. And he goes, well, I don't think I did that, but I am sorry if I led her to believe I liked her. So glad you're gone, Brett. You can take your tiny friend Max with you, and I will be happy to never see the 2 of you again. Then we move on to Ariana. Andy said, you opened up about your depression. How are you doing now? And she said, I've been with a really great therapist for the past few months, and I would be lying if I said it was all positive, but it's definitely going in the right direction. I'm feeling better. They did a split screen while she was talking, just showing Jax and Brittany, and Jax just can't, I don't know what it is. He's got this like disgusted look on his face. I'm so sick of it. I am sick of the 2 of them. Oh good, now we get a Jax and Brittany montage. Well, Jax mostly. How Jax kind of spiraled out of control. And Andy said, you kind of do this at the end of every season. And he goes, yep, I do. And Andy said, how are you doing since filming wrapped? And he goes, I'm doing pretty good. The downfall, the spiral at the end, it's just because I'm still like incredibly working on myself. Andy asks, what are you doing to work on yourself? I'm just working on trying to be a better person. That's not an answer. That doesn't answer what you're doing. Anyway, Ariana said, can we move on to something else so that we don't spend the last 45 minutes of the reunion on this subject? Brittany's like, don't be rude. Ariana goes, it's just going to be the same thing. Like every single reunion. I'm a work in progress. Blah, blah, blah. Then we see a montage, you guys. It's so good. Reunion 1. Well, I'm a work in progress. Reunion 2. I'm going to therapy. I'm trying to work on myself. Reunion 3, he's like, I have remorse. I admit everything I do. Reunion 4, I'm not perfect. I need a lot of help. Reunion 5, I've definitely become a better person because one of the things I've wanted to do is try and better myself. Reunion 6, I look at myself and like, I'm tired of myself. Reunion 7, I'm trying to be a better person. I'm a work in progress. And Andy goes, this is our 7th reunion. I have heard you say you're a work in progress before. And now reunion 8. I'm going to be a work in progress for the rest of my life. I mean, he might be. He's identified that work needs to be done. I just don't know that any work is actually being done. A screaming match ensues between Jax and Brittany and Ariana and Tom Sandaval. We get into Jax saying at the end of the season that he needs therapy. Andy asks Ariana, what do you think of that? And she's like, listen, if he does, I recommend the best thing you could do is find yourself a good therapist that you connect with, because it's very important that you get better. That you've got to deal with this. And then Andy said, Lala, didn't Randall recommend a good therapist for Jax? And Lala said, not only did Rand recommend a great therapist, but he paid for the session and Jax didn't show up. As she's saying, Jaxie, I care about you, but that was not cool. Well, Tom and Ariana are going off like, that's because he doesn't care. He doesn't really want to get better. This is all a big joke to him. And they're going on and on. We see Kristen is like, oh my God, like how rude that is to not show up to the session, all that. And then Brittany is like, oh, well, this is nice. I guess we can see that all of our friends are just... Jax goes, oh, what is this, attack Jax? Oh, yeah. Why didn't you go? How about explaining that? Instead of acting like, what, you're a victim now? Why did you waste someone's time and money? Brittany's right there with him. I guess all of our friends don't love us anymore. Oh, sweetie. Okay, the next little segment is Dayna. Actually, it was when Scheana got the psychic for Dayna so that she could be in contact with her mom, and that went south. That didn't work well, and they were asking Dayna about it, and it was just absolutely heartbreaking. She doesn't have a relationship with her dad anymore, and she said when her mom died, she and her sister had only each other. She was 22 years old, and she just said, I haven't felt like home since my mother stopped breathing. Everybody was in tears. Jax was in tears. Everybody. Kristen said, I hate that we're doing this during a pandemic, because if this were in person, every single one of us would be hugging you right now, and I'm so sorry we can't. It was just incredibly sad, but at least it kind of put a pin in all the fighting for a minute, Even Ariana said, Jax, I know we hate each other right now, but like if you could possibly reach out to your mom right now, you should. Right after that, we move on to my favorite thing that I've been talking about all season, and not all season, but since it happened, and I couldn't wait for it to get brought up in the reunion, which was Andy asked Ariana, how do you feel about hearing that it was really Lala that made fun of your house and having no furniture and not Stassi? So Stassi goes, oh my God, I have a bone to pick with everyone involved in this situation. Scheana's like, I am so sorry. I directly quoted the wrong person, and I am just very sorry about that. And the truth is, she did. She almost got what Lala said verbatim. It was just the wrong person. So anyway, Stassi saying, Ariana, the fact that you so quickly believed it was me and calling me like a Regina George and all that, if you want to say I'm mean, okay, fine, I'm a mean girl. If you want to say I have bad credit, yeah, I had bad credit. I don't now. I did. But it just seemed like you just were waiting, like you were so happy to just come at me again. And What do I need to do? I like you. I don't know how to get you to understand that. Ariana's like, it's just like we came so far to get to a place where we were friends that I was just so frustrated when I was told you said that I thought, like, was that just fake or, and she goes, and honestly, I don't even remember that I said that. I sound like a psycho. I didn't even know I said all that until I watched the show back. And then Lala goes, Scheana, in what universe do you think that Stassi would say, I'm a grown-ass woman, I'm not going to a party? Like, that doesn't even sound like Stassi. You're not off the hook, Lala. I would like to know what Ariana thinks of Lala saying it. And Lala probably needs to apologize. Okay, Ariana said, anything and everything that I said towards Stassi, I am now pivoting it and I'm saying it to Lala. I care very little about the next segment, but it is about Dayna, Max, and Brett and that unholy triangle. I guess Dayna and Brett dated a little bit for a little while after filming wrapped until Brett decided it was moving too fast and he wanted to cool things off a little. And Dana's like, you know what? We were hanging out a couple times a week. We slept with each other. Yes, that's true. But as soon as you said like Wednesday, I don't want to go see a movie. Oh, this feels like we're moving too fast. I'm like, I'm done. I'm out. One thing I've learned from this whole thing is that I am tired of people who do not care enough about me and aren't invested in me. And that's that. And everyone's like, yes, good on you. Beau's like, good for you, Dayna. And I guess she's on her own now. Just a little moment going over Danica and Scheana too. Danica said, yeah, I mean, obviously I shouldn't have pushed her. I'm explaining that I thought she shouldn't have gotten involved in Stassi's conversation with Scheana and Ariana. Stassi said, actually, I'm kind of glad you did that, Danica. But Lisa Vanderpump? No. I can't have you on the floor when you're that explosive, Danica. When all of this is over, we're just going to have a talk. It's not looking good for you, Danica. I think Lisa just found out what you said about her, having an affair or it being creepy between her and Brett. I think Lisa hated that. I think when this whole pandemic is over and people go back to work, it's going to be like, Danica, not so fast. There's so many different components of this whole Vanderpump Rules cast that is falling apart at the seams. Really makes me wonder if there can even be a season 9. In like Andy's final thoughts, he's like, Kristen, do you miss your friendship with Katie and Stassi? And she said, yeah, of course I miss them. I wish I could have shared monumental things in my life, like her new boyfriend, Alex, and I wish I could share my home with them and that kind of thing. So yeah, she misses that. And then he asked Jax and Sandaval, is there any salvaging the friendship? And Jack said, I'm good with the way things are right now. Andy said, well, your relationship is on hold right now. And he's like, yeah, I'm good with it. I think Lisa's like, we're in the middle of the world is going through so much right now. And I think when it's over, I think we need to put things in perspective. And I would like us all to work on friendships again. Jax is like, yeah, no, I'm good. And Brittany said, I think that Jax and Tom could get back together again and work on their friendship after this. Because right now they don't even talk to each other. So it's all hearsay. And then Jax turns to Brittany and he's like, don't contradict me. And he's the worst. Okay, so we're saying goodbye to everybody, and Andy asks Ken and Scheana's boyfriend Brock and Randall to all come into the frames and say hi to everyone. And Randall, is he just like the nicest man ever? Andy said, you were so afraid to be on the show, and what did you think about being on this season? And he said, yeah, I was. But, I wanted to support Lala, and these are all her friends, and everybody just couldn't have made it easier or more comfortable for me. He's just a really nice guy. Ken said that he's anxious to have the restaurants open again. I'm sure they are. That's their livelihood. To think that, they have restaurants all over and everything had to shut down. This is so tough, you guys. Andy asked Brock, being in quarantine with Scheana, what has he learned about her? And he said, oh, I think I learned a lot. I think she's a good person. Lisa gets the final word with the toast. I'm so proud of all of you. And James's sobriety is just so wonderful. And with everything that's been happening the past few months, I hope to see all of you on the other side. Well, not you, Danica. She didn't say that, but I think we know what she was thinking. And it was just, cheers. Everybody cheers. Brittany said, I love you guys. I love all of you. And even though we all just screamed at each other, Ariana's blowing kisses. And how do they act like that? And then they really love each other? It's crazy. And that is a wrap on season 8 and possibly the final season. I don't know, guys. Like I said before, everything's a little bit up in the air still. And as soon as I know what's happening and what I'm going to be doing about it, whether I'm going to recap it or move on to something else, I will let you guys know. But for right now, I want to thank you guys so much for sticking with it to the very end with me. It means a lot. Your support of me means so much to me. And I'm so happy you guys were here. If you liked this episode, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to Jill Informed if you haven't done that yet. And please leave a comment down below. I love to hear from you guys. I don't know when the next time will be, but I'll see you next time. Bye.